All right, it says we're live. So, I'm assuming everybody can hear us.
Yeah, live. Not YouTube.
Well, it's about a 10-second delay, so you're gonna have to. It's live.
Okay.
So, I got here with me Peter Shi.
Hi, I'm Peter.
He's my friend. I met him at Improv here in Raleigh. We went to Comedy Works together. Took an intermediate short form class, and even performed on stage together.
Yeah, we did. It was a great time.
It was a great time. So today the format is going to be something like this. First, I'm going to let Peter introduce himself, kind of give a brief introduction to who he is, and then we're going to do a quick improv game just to kind of loosen things up. We have some wine here in mugs because we're classy,
Right.
And we are going to then go on to some questions that I stole from James Lipton. And then there are some things that Peter Shi would like to talk about, including his website, some crypto stuff, and then we'll just see where it goes from there. Because Peter, you're also in you're in the Jordan Peterson meetup group in Raleigh.
Yeah.
So you've gone how many times?
I've gone twice.
Twice?
Yeah.
Okay, 2 times. So yeah, give us just an introduction to who you are and what you hope to maybe talk about today.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. My name is Peter Shi, and I'm Asian.
And you're Asian?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, that's not the most interesting thing about me, though.
Okay.
I do improv,
Well,
like you said.
Now it'll just be a conversation.
Okay,
So talk
yeah.
to me.
All right, so like, I was a data scientist. I went to Duke, graduated a few years ago. I'm about to go to Utah next week to be a door-to-door salesman. And on the side, I've been working on these financial technology startups.
Oh, okay.
Some investor and a financial advisor.
You own the startups?
I am currently the co-founder and CEO of one.
Oh, cool.
And I dropped out of the other one as a data
What's it called?
scientist. It's called post-retirement income.
Post-retirement income solutions.
Yeah.
So this is crypto for like old people?
It's not crypto. It's just for old people.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to dive into that after our improv game. You ready? So we're going to play a game. It's called, well, you know it, but for everybody else, it's called one-word story. And the way it works is we're going to tell a story one word at a time. We have no idea what the story is going to be. All we know is that it's going to start with the words once upon a time.
Okay.
Who's going to start? You start.
Okay. Once
Upon
a
time
there
was
a
young
beautiful
woman
named
Cindy.
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 Oh. Okay. So Cindy
Once
saw
a
ghost
in
her.
pants.
You took it there. Okay. This
Ghost
really
loved
Cindy
but
didn't
no
if
Cindy.
loved
Yeah.
back.
So
Cindy
wanted
commitment.
and
The
love
of
his.
wow. Ephemeral.
Penis.
Oh god.
Can we just play this game?
We're just gonna play this game the entire time.
Yeah.
All right, recall scene right there.
Alright, we're done.
What is ephemeral?
That's the story. Was that
What
Taurus?
does ephemeral mean?
It's like ghostly. Or
Ephemeral means it
Fleeting.
disappears. Yeah, fleeting. Like
Mine
Snapchat.
is fleeting.
Yeah, it's a double entendre.
Oh god, it's just
Anyway.
it really goes after all.
All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as we did.
Yeah, they put another meaning to the word ghosted.
If you could think of another improv game, or we'll play that one again. Maybe we'll do one on the outro. Or if somebody from the chat wants us to play another one, let me know. I didn't expect that to get there.
I didn't either. It's not the 8 o'clock show.
No, it's the 9 o'clock show. All right, so so let's do the James Lipton type questions first. We're gonna do some icebreakers while we nurse our wine.
Let's go for it.
And if you might notice, I'm holding my free speech cup, which I do want to sell. It is on Teespring, but I haven't like advertised it.
So it's a video game.
Yes, that is a Super
So you can
Nintendo
play while
controller.
you drink.
Yeah, yeah, don't spill it on yourself.
I hope. Yeah.
All right, so we'll start with the really simple James Lipton questions. I actually asked these to my last guest, although we had a remote interview, not an in-person one. So we'll start with something simple. What's your favorite word and why?
My favorite word would be. I've never thought about this actually. I have to think about it for a second. Charismatic, because I want to be.
All right. Well, I'm curious how to answer the next one then. So what is your least favorite word?
Moist.
That's a lot of people's least favorite word.
Yeah, it's just a disgusting word. On so
Yeah.
many levels.
So let's talk about charismatic first. Why do you want
Charisma, that actually.
charisma? Because you want to be charismatic? Why do you want to be charismatic?
Oh, do you really want to?
Yeah, like do you well,
Well, I want success in life and in love
yeah. Well,
and in business and in everything else. And I think charisma is another word for bullshitting, and it gets you very far in the Western world.
okay. So you want to bullshit your way through?
Well, no. I want to actually have skills, but then the bullshit just elevates
Okay.
times 10.
So bullshitting like being able to just bullshit.
Yeah, bullshit.
Not bullshitting like lying to be.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
There's a difference.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Okay. And then moist. Why is that your least favorite word? Why is it disgusting, as you said?
It sounds painful. It has too many vowels in it, and take it well. Like this conjures up an image of beautiful breath.
All right. I'm trying. What exactly? Is it not PG-13? Is that the
I'm
image
just gonna
that's
let it go sit there.
in my own head?
Yeah.
Okay. I like moist. It makes me think of cake. So when I hear the word moist, everyone else they're like, "Oh, it's such a gross word." I'm like, "Cake." But I think I know what other people think of. All kind of sweaty and just body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Not a place to be.
So, all right, ready? One word answer. What's your favorite curse word?
Fuck.
What was it?
Fuck.
Okay. Yeah. Why?
It's so cathartic.
Cathartic.
Yeah.
You like saying it?
Yeah.
Feels good. I like it. It has a lot of uses. Pretty much any emotion you can use fuck with, and it'll work. Yeah. We've only got a couple more of these, and we're going to talk about your website. If you could practice, no, that's not the right way to put it. If you could attempt any other profession, what would it be?
I'll try to be an actor because I think actors are good at bullshitting.
They have a lot of charisma,
Exactly, and they have a lot.
but they can act like.
It's just like a social chameleon.
Have you done any acting other than
Improv.
improv? I guess is acting.
Well, I made a film.
You were in it,
I made it.
so you directed it, but you weren't in it.
Yeah.
You weren't an actor. What was it about?
It was about the brevity of life
Okay.
and the passage of time and memory.
Was this like a student project? Or
It
something?
was.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long of a film was it?
It was 3 minutes and 13 seconds.
Nice. Longer than a Vine. Much longer than a Vine. Cool. Did you get a good grade? Yeah. Are you going to continue making movies and stuff?
Hopefully down the line. I hope to.
Okay.
And maybe be an actor too.
Do you think you can make a decent commercial?
I think I can.
Do you have like the filming skills, or
Oh, I think I can pick it up. There's a bunch of free online websites.
you know a lot of? I'm guessing you took a class.
I know about cinematography.
Cool. Cool.
I
Cool.
do.
The closest I've gone to that was I took a film appreciation class, but we learned about things like lighting and all that stuff. But I'm guessing you guys got to actually do it.
We have to go
Or a
deep.
short film.
Go deep.
Cool. Very neat. Speaking of, what's your current profession?
I'm in between jobs right now. So
Okay.
I was a data scientist at Cisco for 3 years,
Mhm.
and while I did my financial startups on the side, and now I dropped that and two of my startups to be a door-to-door salesman I'll be in Salt Lake City until the end of August.
I know you're leaving us,
I am.
moving to Utah. Man. I'm afraid to ask you this question. This is not intended to be sexual.
No, I can.
What
I can make
turns-
it sexual.
I know you can. What turns you off? So let's not go sexual. Like what's something that really grinds your gears?
Grinds.
You've heard that phrase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's people who aren't open-minded, I guess.
Okay.
Like people who are very
Closed-minded people.
closed-minded. Yeah.
How do you know someone's closed-minded?
Well, they don't ask a lot of questions. They're not very friendly, and they don't like to meet new people or try new things.
What do they do?
They just hate on people.
Yeah. Go to my Facebook, you'll know them.
Yeah, I've seen.
Yeah. Cool. I would have to agree with that. That's a big turn off for me, obviously. I like discussion. I mean, Torrance over here knows I talk his ear off. He'll come over here to work or something. Next thing you know, it's like I talked his ear off for like 3 hours.
It's mutual though.
It actually is mutual. How's the chat going?
So
Are
far,
you keeping them busy?
No, they were talking. Just me. You have 3 watchers though.
I have 3 people watching, but nobody in the chat. All right. So if you guys want to dip into the chat, you can ask some questions because at the end of this, we're going to try to answer some of those. So ask questions to me or Peter
Or Torrance.
or Torrance.
You can ask me anything you want. Whatever, but
AMA. It's like Reddit.
Torrance will collect them, but we'll answer the questions at the end. Cool. So yeah, talk about. Geez. Oh, let me just check the time. Cool. Just talk about your website a little bit.
Sure.
Is it a blog?
Yeah, it's a blog. So
Okay.
it's about investments, like not only investments, money and cryptos, but also in like time and in yourself. Like, I use your time, do things, get ahead of it.
Okay. So you just try to teach people how to invest.
Yeah.
Cool. What's it called? The website?
It's
So
called.
people can go to it.
Sure, it's called 1% Better Every Day, and once was spelled out one and
So
O-N-E. Yeah,
right.
O-N-E.
Okay. Yeah, I think I already put that in the description, but if not, I'll put it in there. So
Cool.
everybody watches and they can find your link. I haven't read any of his blog posts, obviously, so I can't speak to them. But like, give us an example of something you've talked about recently.
So recently, I gave a review of Dan Ariely's books, the honest truth about dishonesty, and dollars and cents.
The honest truth about dishonesty. What does that mean?
It's about telling the truth. Like that's something I wanted to discuss more. Just like it's one of Jordan
You should
Peterson's
have come to the
compliments.
meetup.
I should have. But
Yeah, the meetup was well, hopefully we can do that. But hopefully we don't run into this. Did we run into too many hangups? No, I think we got over them pretty quickly. We didn't. We made sure not to pull a Jordan Peterson, Sam Harris. I don't know if you know about that podcast, but they spent the entire first podcast talking about what the word truth means. So, well, and if you can't get past that, it's very hard to discuss. So how'd you write that again? The what of dishonesty?
The honest truth about dishonesty.
The honest truth about dishonesty. And how did you write about it in terms of investment or in the blog post?
I just summarized what I learned from it, like the top things I've learned from that particular book.
Okay.
Which is that people are more likely to lie when they're low on energy. So, for example, they're more likely to lie or be dishonest, cheat, steal, etc. towards the end of the day when their willpower and restraint have been depleted. Like, for example, they walk by the office and they see a bunch of donuts that depletes their energy a little bit. They go and they see a really nice new gadget in Best Buy. They're like, oh, I can't buy that. That's another ounce. Like if you think about a video game and you have a bar of your self-restraint, right? Every time that happens, it depletes.
So every time you have to practice self-restraint.
Exactly, and then it recharges at the end of the day, like when you sleep. Right, your self-restraint.
So you're saying if you just can bombard people with donuts all day, they'll probably get in?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. I want to read that. We'll get into the whole truth topic very soon, I think. And then, what's your expertise with crypto?
I've dabbled in it. and I made a nice little profit in the crypto market.
Oh,
I'm
you're
a big
rich.
yeah.
You're rich now.
I'm not rich.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you made some money with crypto.
Yeah.
Cool. That's very cool. I know a few people who have.
I really love the concept of the whole decentralized currency. It's just
Right.
like giving, it's like fuck you government.
You're a fuck you government kind of guy.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not, but I just like the concept.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a small government kind of guy.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's how you define fuck you government.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not like an anarchist.
Like the government's useful where it's needed,
Mhm.
and if you create a new technology for currency and the government's not needed, then they maybe should back out. I would agree. Cool. We went through that really quick, like my notes. So now we're just in the 3-point.
Perfect.
Yeah. So truth. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So the meetup that we had, the topic was specifically about Jordan Peterson's 8th chapter,
Mhm.
which is always tell the truth, and then in parentheses, or at least don't lie.
Right.
And John should be watching. John, you should be watching the stream, not following me. But there's a shout out. That'll go down in the history books. So at least don't lie, right? So at the meetup, one of the first things we had to do was we knew we weren't going to be able to define truth because that's a big topic. But it's easy to define what a lie is and not to do it. So we'll start there.
Sure.
So a lie,
Mhm.
the way I think best defined is when you say something that you know to be untrue. So you could be wrong, but if you tell it knowing that it's not the truth. So if you're deceiving somebody, you are lying.
Right.
Yeah. So are you more focused? Is your view more so that you should always tell the truth, or that you shouldn't lie?
I think it's more focused on that you shouldn't lie,
Mhm.
unless it's like for an exceptional reason,
Like what?
like saving your mom's life.
Yeah. I think that's why anybody lies, is to force a certain outcome.
Not necessarily. There's a bunch of white lies, small lies that
Right.
people tell, sometimes accidentally. You should always be cognizant.
Right. I don't even like white lies. But I guess my claim was that even a white lie, you are either trying to create a certain outcome or you're trying to avoid a certain outcome.
Right.
Like if, the famous white lie is, hey, honey, does this dress make my butt look big?
Right. Exactly.
The reason you say, of course not, is because you're avoiding conflict. You don't want to hurt someone's feelings. There's something you're avoiding.
Right. And that's the worst reason to do something.
Right. I like Jordan Peterson. Have you heard Jordan Peterson's answer on that?
I probably have. I just don't remember off the top of my head.
He said the right answer to that question is, I don't answer those kinds of questions. And I think that's the best way to go about it.
It's funny. I keep that in mind.
Right. It's like, it's if you ask me a question, I'm generally going to give you the honest answer.
Cheers to honesty.
Oh, you spilling? It's okay. You got red wine in my journal.
Whoops.
It's fine.
On your phone.
Well, the phone can take it. The paper can't.
Mhm.
But it's cool. Don't worry about it. So, trying to remember some stuff that we learned from the meetup so I can bring it here and
Yeah.
maybe you can get your point of view on it.
I like one point that I want to bring out. So, hypothetical situation.
Yeah.
You're in.
I don't even know if they can hear you, but hopefully.
I think they can. So let's say you're in Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
During World War II,
It's kind of
and you have Jews
right.
in your house
Sure.
under the floorboards.
Okay.
And you're hiding them. And a Nazi operative knocks on your door,
Mhm.
and you answer the door and he asks, "Do you have any Jews in your house?"
Right.
Obviously, if you tell them the truth,
Mm-hmm.
maybe you'll be okay, and they'll just take the Jews.
Perhaps.
And obviously, the Jews they're gonna die. Or do you lie and potentially risk them coming in anyway, finding them, and then killing all of you?
Well, if you've gone so far to hide Jews
So-
in your cupboard, then I would say just continue it.
The microphone's this way, so it's going to be hard to hear.
Okay.
So the question, in essence, was somebody comes knocking at your door and you're hiding somebody and they want to kill them.
Specifically,
Well,
Jews in Nazi
In the
Germany.
hypothetical situation, do you tell them a lie or do you tell them the truth?
Like I said to Torrance, I think if you're going so far to hide these people in your house from someone, then I would say just continue lying. because you're already committing.
You're already committing a lie.
Yeah.
Is it a lie?
It's not a lie. If it's kind of like cheating when you get caught. You know, it's like you already cheated and now you're just trying not to get caught.
Gotcha.
So I would say, yeah, if you believe in what you're doing, but not like cheating on tests, but like you're hiding the Jews.
Right. Yeah, no, I thought about this, and like I'm kind of on the fence because there's one model that I use where basically it's like, is this person worthy of the truth? You know what I mean?
Huh.
Like, you know, if you're asking me something and you want the truth, is it fair for me to go, maybe you're not worthy of the truth? You know, and in extreme situations, you're going to use that truth to murder somebody. Maybe the answer is no, you're not worthy of it. But in the same regard, I kind of agree with Emmanuel. Some people say can't, I say can't. Right? Yeah, that's what I thought. I kind of agree with him because here's the thing: if you tell the truth and a bad thing happens, that sucks, right? That's why we lie, to avoid the bad thing. But if you lie and a bad thing happens, that's like the ultimate worst. Like lying and having a bad outcome is worse than telling the truth.
Sure.
So when you're lying, you're typically optimizing for outcome. You're not optimizing for expressing what is actually real and true. So yeah, when it comes to like the Nazi Germany question, good question by the way, Torrance. It did come up in the meetup.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like, I'm kind of on the fence about it. I would say if you're really sticking to the whole always tell the truth thing, then you would basically at least omit. And not omit to deceive. Although again, you can ask, is this person worthy of your truth, right? But basically, yeah, I think it's fair to tell somebody that they don't deserve an answer. Very least. Like if you came and asked me some accusatory question, and no matter what the answer is, I'd be like, you know what? I know you really want to know the answer to that, but too bad. I'm not giving it to you. Not to lie, just
don't tell
because
the truth.
I'm questioning your intentions. You know what I mean?
Right.
I actually don't even like if a Nazi knocks on my door, I don't even want to talk to him. So I don't even want to say hello, let alone answer his questions. So, but you know, chances are good he'll probably see me stalling and then barge through the door.
And then check your forwards immediately.
Yeah.
See, that's where charisma comes in. You can.
That's right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'd be like, hey, that's a really nice thing you got on.
Yeah.
Why don't you just come back a little bit later and ask me that same question?
Yeah. Or no, just be like, yeah, like come in here and cast some wine. Just
Let me interview you for a second.
interview.
Yeah. Got it. Well, if I keep doing this, it's only a matter of time until I'm accused of interviewing Nazis. So just you wait. Maybe you'll be it. Maybe you'll be the person who.
I hope not. I sure hope not.
You should talk about Nazis a lot.
Talk about something else.
So what have you talked about in terms of truth on your blog or on your website or in passing with friends?
I haven't really wrote about it that much in my blog, but I have thought about it a lot. And what I've come to realize is that sometimes the people we need to tell the truth most to, the person we need to tell the truth most to is ourselves. We often delude ourselves.
Yeah.
That's totally true.
It's here. No. No, it's true. Lying to yourself. It's harder to even notice when you're lying to yourself. People do it all the time.
And sometimes it's like a protection mechanism. Like sometimes you're like, oh, I'm so sexy. Why don't any of the girls like me?
I feel like I'm in a therapy session right now. That's exactly what I think. No.
Good.
But I
it's just like an example or something. Right. Or like, oh, I'm so qualified for this job, or I'm so the shit. Why doesn't anyone like me?
Yeah.
And I was reading this book called Dangerous Personalities, in which they outline different types of people with mental and sociological and psychological disorders. One of them is the narcissistic personality disorder, which is where you just put yourself over everyone else.
Right.
The other one's antisocial personalities, the typical sociopaths, psychopaths, serial killers.
Right.
And what these two have in common is that they're very good at deluding themselves. Yeah, they're good at lying.
You have to be to think you're better than them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, in all ways, nonetheless.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's interesting. So is narcissist, what was the other one?
Antisocial.
Antisocial. Yeah, I've done a little bit of reading on I have a book somewhere over there actually. It's like the psychoanalytic diagnosis.
Oh yeah,
Well,
yes.
it's like the textbook.
Yeah, you
So
have
I've
to.
skimmed through it. I haven't I don't know the literature, but it's cool stuff. I had an old coworker who had a model that he used where he was convinced that everybody can be described as one of like the 7 main psychotic disorders.
Really?
Well, everyone. So the way he uses it is like everyone is some combination of it, but you're either high functioning or low functioning or somewhere in between. So his thing was like, for example, if you're a high functioning paranoid, you'd have the traits of a paranoid person, which is you could see all the potential threats of the future, right? And you start taking measures to protect yourself from them.
Sure.
But low functioning paranoid would be the guy with like the aluminum foil hat in his house, telling grandma on the phone like, "Shh, I can hear," But the high functioning paranoid might become like a security engineer, right? And he might actually work at Cisco or something, and actually be the guy who's like, he looks at some code and he's like, "Oh man, I can see 18 different ways this can break. We gotta account for that," And he used the same set of skills, but for something useful, not something detrimental to his own health. So, one, I was going to ask you what you think of that, but 2, do you think that somebody who is like a low functioning narcissist or whatever, do you think there's a way for people to develop those traits as strengths?
So first of all, I think it's really funny you mentioned security engineer at Cisco because I was that.
Yeah, well, you mentioned Cisco. You were also a security.
I was working there, like as a data scientist in information security.
Oh, that's
up until
I heard the data scientist.
Up until I'm still technically employed by them, but I'm going to quit next Monday. So
do they know?
They do, yeah.
Okay. I was like,
2 weeks.
surprise.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Why don't you want to work there anymore?
What's that?
Why don't you want to work there anymore?
I figured out development's not right for me.
You just don't like it, or
Yeah, it's just not what I want to do.
You should let me teach you iPhone programming.
Maybe.
It's a little more fun than Cisco.
Probably. Well, back to the question. I think I read a book about this. Like it was talking about. I forgot the specific book, but it talks specifically about high functioning people with like high functioning psychopaths. They're actually incredibly common, and they're
I believe it.
in the highest levels of society. Like they're like the top brain surgeons, the top lawyers, the top politicians.
I can believe that.
Yeah. And if you think about it, it makes sense because somehow they can cope with the fact that they are psychopaths, and they own their psychopaths in a healthy and productive manner for society.
Right.
I think to become the top level of anything, you kind of have to dedicate your entire life to whatever it is. And to do that means you don't have any real friendships or real meaningful relationships. And I think to be completely alone just goes hand in hand with being psychotic. You're just alone with yourself and developing your own skill.
Right.
Yeah. So
Or just an introvert.
yeah.
Well, that too. Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't think that like a high functioning psychotic would ever be. I don't know. Would ever be bored. They're just consumed. They're like addicted almost to whatever it is they're doing and learning.
Exactly.
Well, I think success is largely being able to, like, life is a struggle. There's no way around that. There are some people who think that they can change that and make life not a struggle or equally a struggle for everybody, perhaps. But life is a struggle, and I think success comes with having to take on those struggles, face on and enduring them and overcoming them. And if you're a psychopath, you have an advantage because you don't feel pain that other people feel when they try to do something bold.
Right.
You know.
At the same time, I think it's pretty sad that American media glorifies the whole concept of like mental disorders and psychopathy, everything from movies like American Psycho to like different TV shows. Like
So I was with you on the
Yeah.
first half because I do think that there is a strange kind of glorification of mental
Hannibal
disorder
Lecter.
happening.
Yeah, some-
But I wouldn't think those are glorifications. I would think those are just interesting stories about the topic.
Yeah, but then like you look at TV, you see the media people. They whenever there's like a mass shooting, for example, they always talk about the shooter and not as much on the victim.
Well, yeah. Well, that's because that's what people. So I've thought about this, and I think people are really interested in. We're interested in that. We want to know why people like that exist, right?
Yeah.
And if they go on TV and they talk about the victims and they say how so and so Jane Smith did this awesome thing once, it's like that's cool, but like nobody's gonna talk about it. Like it doesn't have a viral effect, right?
Mhm.
Because you're not gonna argue about it.
Mhm.
You might tell a couple people, but it's just gonna die because people are just gonna be like, yeah, you know. But when it comes to like a killer, like now there's a controversy. But even though there was such a big controversy over Parkland, nobody's talking about Parkland. I mean, today they were because there was another walkout. But between today and like the week of Parkland, I haven't heard anything about it really, right? So it's interesting, but I agree because I think part of the reason people do these shootings is
to get they want to be infamous. It's
Right.
like it's a whole Bonnie and Clyde thing.
yeah.
It's like all the outlaws of the West. Why did they do it? Like one of the main reasons, like the top reason, was to gain fame and notoriety.
Right.
Because in this world, it's so easy to. Not that I mean, I guess I can kind of see.
I'm
maybe
curious
some
how your voice
frustration.
is going to come on the audio later
I don't know, but
because
maybe
you're talking to the back of the mic.
what is it?
Yeah.
Probably just on echo events. But people who just get, I can see how they can get so fed up with everyday life, just going to work and coming home, and then maybe out of frustration feeling trapped, like I'm just gonna do something so I know I'm gonna have an impact.
Yeah.
But then, and it's happening so frequently that, like John was saying, now we're talking about these events, and the conversation's lasting for about a week, and then maybe this person's name will end up on a Wikipedia page somewhere.
Right.
And 20 years from now, they're not even going to get that notoriety that they were seeking.
Oh yeah, I mean like these guys, their names are going to be in the history book probably.
Maybe.
Well, I mean the
I don't
Columbine
know.
kids certainly are. You
Well,
know.
yeah.
Um,
I feel like things like that were a lot less common back then, or they just weren't as reported.
So, well, one, because I'm really not sure how the audio is going to show up, so I think keeping it to this conversation is probably going to be most useful. But then two, I do want to ask, is anybody chatting?
Yeah, there was chatting. But
Nobody's chatting?
It's bouncing up. You got up to like 6 viewers once.
I know, I had 6 people watching the live. Now, let me see. I also have the YouTube. Oh god, I can hear myself.
Don't say, oh god. A good one.
I can hear myself.
Sorry.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, why Utah?
That's where my company is doing the stint. They have a different location every year. And I only work from April to late August every year, and then the rest of the time I have to.
So, what are you doing at the end of August? You coming back here?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
It's up to me.
Yeah.
Enough
What would you like to do if you could?
do anything. I could do anything.
Well,
If money wasn't an issue.
Well, no, just like, what are your hopes? What do you
My
hope kind of
hopes?
happens? Yeah.
I hope that my startup goes off the ground and we get a lot of funding.
This is the.
It's the post
Retirement one?
Yeah, it's called post-retirement income solution.
Do you need a refill?
Yeah, yes, please. And I'm working with a couple of guys who are building out the software platform to help people, mostly older people, to retire using the cutting-edge retirement strategies. It's a software. So that's one thing. Another thing is I hope to move out to the like I want to be somewhere where I can be in a place where I can travel the world and work from remote.
Work remotely.
Like for example, live out of Airbnbs.
Well, programming would let you do that.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe I'll get into it.
Well, you were doing some programming.
I was doing
Cisco,
some
right?
programming.
But is that what you went to school for?
I went to school for statistics and machine learning.
Oh,
It was
you
a
went
bit.
for machine learning. That's right.
It was a bit of.
C, I'm guessing.
No, it was actually R.
Okay. Well, that's for stats, right?
Yeah,
Python. Yeah. And Python? That's cool. Yeah, I have a friend who works at Google, actually, who's really into both of those.
Oh.
He's a bit of a. I think he is I think that's what he went to school for as well. And he did data at he did like data analytics at Imager for a bit. Yeah, cool guy. So where do you let's see, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Let's do that question.
Sounds like a job interview.
Yeah, well, no, it's more like a dating interview.
A dating interview.
Yeah, you were going to date. You want to know exactly where
yeah.
somebody's going to be in 5 years.
All right, in 5 years, I hope to be somewhere on an island, retired, and able to do whatever I want.
That's your goal.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you get there?
I raise a ton of capital for my startup. I either sell it off or get enough Class A shares to
How much do you need to retire?
10 million.
10 million? Not 1 million?
For the long run, 10 million. For the short run, maybe like 2.5 million.
2.5.
Given a 4% rate of withdrawal and an income of 40.
Nice. What do you think you can get on it year after year in percentage?
And assume maybe like 6 to 7%, right? Average rate of return.
Yeah. I think isn't the rule like if you do is it 7% or 8% where it's like you can get 7% year over year, you double your money in 10?
Yeah, it's the rule of 72.
What is it?
It's like it's
Correct
like
mine.
it's 72. So like whatever your assumed rate of return is, you divide that by the number so you divide 72 by your assumed rate of return, and that's the number of years it takes for your money to double. So,
Okay.
So for example,
So 7.2. So 7.2% would be 10 years.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, that's great. That's why the first million is the easiest. I mean, the hardest, right?
Mhm.
And then just put it away for 10 years and then you have another million. That's wild. I couldn't even imagine. 'Cause that's if it doubles in 10 years, that's like on average that's 100K a year. Insane.
yeah, stash away all your.
That's what I was saying. I mean, if I had $1 million,
Mhm.
I could put it away and I can live off the returns. I think.
You can probably if you have a very modest lifestyle.
Yeah.
But my goal isn't to like just retire as in like not work. But when I say retire, it means I can do things that I enjoy.
Right. You get to
Like
choose
acting,
your work.
yeah. I get to
Oh,
choose my
acting.
work.
There you go.
Like acting or music or film, art. Like these things that don't necessarily produce a lot of money, but
Right.
I'm able to do in my life.
Yeah. Are you enjoying improv?
I am.
Do you? Where do you want to take it?
Where do I want to take it?
Like, where do you want to take it? Like, do you want to eventually travel and do shows and stuff? Or
Yeah,
is
it's
it just for fun?
It's for fun, mostly to build my social skills and confidence. But
Yeah.
I do hope to maybe somehow get involved in films, like either as in cinematography, directing, or acting. Be an actor.
That would be cool. I never tried acting. You said you've done cinematography, but you weren't in the film?
I wasn't.
Have you done? I don't think you actually answered that question earlier. Have you done any acting?
Have I done any acting? I'm trying to think. I don't think I've done any.
Like maybe not on a camera, but like on a stage.
Yeah, I've been in plays and stuff.
What plays?
It's one of them, Alice in Wonderland, a
Who are-
long time ago.
Wait, tell me you're the Cheshire Cat.
No,
Or the
I was
same.
actually one of the chipmunks, so that wasn't very.
Chipmunks?
Yeah, I
There was
was a-
chipmunk in Alice in Wonderland?
Yeah, it was not a chipmunk. This was very small. It was
Okay.
a very bit.
What were your lines?
I didn't have any. I don't know if it
What
counts.
you have to do? Just run out dressed as a chipmunk?
Yeah. So
That's great.
small steps.
That's fun. Yeah, that's cool though. And you were in other plays too, or?
No speaking parts, so I don't. Like I still have a long way to go.
Extras.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still have a long way to go.
Like I was a tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Does that count as acting?
You acted like a tree. Probably the best damn tree anybody's ever seen. Do you play any music?
Yeah, I played piano and violin like a stereotypical kid.
Do you play ukulele?
No.
Ukulele, yeah. Turn this into a musical show.
Let me,
You want to try it?
yeah, I do want to
All right, do it.
try.
Don't knock that candle over, please. So you've never played a ukulele?
I've never played.
He's probably not in like perfect tune, but it's good enough.
I've played a guitar before.
All right, we'll do this for like 2 minutes.
Oh, that sounds great.
Because you're used to a pen.
Yeah.
Strong too. you strum up?
This is I'm trying to do guitar chords. But
No. I'll teach you some chords later.
yeah, maybe later.
Like C and F.
C and
If
F.
you know C and F, you can play like most rock songs. Is that no? There's
Oh, there's like 4 chords. The 4 chords. Song.
what are they? You know?
C, D, A, and G.
I know 2 of those.
You show me how.
No, not right now.
That's why it's
I'm not embarrassing myself.
That's why it's on the shelf.
Yeah. Maybe I will. I mean, if somebody in the chat asks me to play ukulele, I will play ukulele.
Just go to chat. Well, there's 3 people watching.
Well, 2 of them are us. One's you, one's me.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. No,
Probably.
that's not true because it's been one person before. I don't think it counts something like you. It might count me. Right? He says, "Do it, Tim Pulley." Tim
said, "Do it." All right, do the ukulele. Only because we had a fan. Thank you, Tim. Tim, how did you pronounce his last name?
Polikuya.
I think it's Poliquin.
I'll be right back.
I'll join.
Do you need to use the restroom?
I do.
Hey,
All right.
I'll interview.
So we're gonna do a bathroom break, and Torrance is gonna come in the seat.
All right. Here. I'm not gonna drink anything though. All right. Yeah. Hey, look.
Everybody, we got Torrance. He's a special guest on our show today.
Yeah, I don't have any credentials. I've never done anything of variety, but I'm here with John, and I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
So Torrance is my friend. We met randomly on a Slack channel.
Yeah, Triangle Dev Slack. It's
I just talked this way.
okay.
Like,
Yeah, it's just a Slack for developers in the Triangle. I think my buddy, one of my coworkers, actually invited me to it, and I met John because he is still trying to and is actively, he's trying to open up a co-working space on the other side of his house.
Yeah.
And man, he posted it and said, hey, guys, anybody want to come down here and work from my place remote? Because one thing that us developers can do, us programmers, is a lot of us have like really flexible schedules and we can work from wherever we want. So some of us like to co-work, some of us work out at coffee shops together. And he posted that he was new to the area and he was trying to start a co-working space. So I was like, yeah, man, totally, I'll come hang out. And
we work out of what used to be a garage.
yeah, it's been renovated. It's pretty sweet. we got VR down there, so that's cool. That's not part of the co-working space, so you guys. But there's also free coffee. So if you guys want to come down and check it out, I highly recommend it. Oh yeah. Yeah,
I don't drink coffee, but he does. So I bought a coffee machine just so he's happy.
Actually, I took a break for a while. I felt like caffeine. You build up a tolerance to caffeine, and eventually you just like. I feel like I just started drinking it just because you start kind of like developing a dependency on it. But I had my first like big cup of coffee today, and man, I'm feeling.
In a while,
yeah. That first cup after coming back for a while, after taking like a little break, it always like really gets me in a good mood.
No, I know. I think I'm legit addicted.
Yeah, I think
you just talk to me like, no.
Oh, sure.
You don't have to talk like you're talking to the.
Well, there's people watching.
To Tim.
Oh, here. Okay.
They're watching
I
us.
hijacked your interview, dude.
They're watching
That's
us.
my interview. What you trying to do, bro? Bro, I'm just trying to. Yo, I was just trying to get a little Asian.
You trying to get a little Asian?
Yeah, I was.
That's fine.
Trying to what?
They're watching us have a conversation. So I think it's easier. Like I find it easier, at least if I'm like just looking at you and talking to you. It's so much easier. The minute I start addressing these people, I get different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're breaking.
It's
the
easier
fourth
if I
wall.
just talk to you.
You're breaking the fourth.
Tim says John's right.
What did he say?
He said John's right. I'm not sure what he's. I'm not sure what you're right.
Oh, I pronounced his name right.
Oh, gotcha. You accepted my request in the bathroom.
Yeah, Tim. So we had a question from a fan. Tim is another fellow that we improv with. You know Tim. Yeah. So any questions from the chat? By the way, Tim should be asking questions.
He said. Stan said, "These people?" with 3 question marks. So technically, that's a question.
Oh, these people? I can answer that question. Yes, these people.
Yes, these.
I don't understand the question.
I don't either. But hi, Stan.
I guess we have enemies too.
It's Friday 9:44. Actually, more time went by than I thought.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's try to take some questions from the audience. But in the meantime, we'll just fill with like
Banter.
banter.
You can do that. I feel like you do that game again. the story.
Yeah, let's do the
Oh, we're gonna do another one word story. This time,
great.
let's try not to be perverted.
Okay.
Try.
Try. Specifically, try not to.
This is on PBS, so be
Right.
Okay.
Can we get a suggestion from you? Give us
first word.
No, not first
Like
words.
for the story.
Okay.
Yeah. So give us a place you wouldn't want to take. No, let's see. That's gonna get dirty. Give us a place you would take grandma.
A place I would take grandma.
Yeah.
Well, how's that going to start the story?
No, it doesn't start. Like you're just giving us a suggestion for the story.
Place I would take grandma.
Like a place that you're okay taking. Grandma.
K&W cafeteria.
What?
What's that?
K&W cafeteria. It's like a.
No. Don't explain it because
Okay.
the idea is we're just gonna go with it.
Okay.
We don't know what K&W is, but it's gonna come up in the story.
Okay.
All right, one word story. K&W cafeteria.
Is a suggestion. Got it.
Once
Upon
a
time
there
was
a
cafeteria
lady,
and
her
name
was
K
and
W.
K
And
W
loved
food.
she
Loved
food
so
much
that
she
started
to
eat
too
much.
so
Much
that
she
had
gained
100,000
pounds.
Holy shit. She's a building.
K
and
W
loved
serving.
people.
So
She
started
a
cafeteria.
named
K
and
W
cafeteria.
Yes.
See,
Scene.
She became the building that she served in.
That was our one word story via your suggestion. So we'll take questions or suggestions for another one word story. So we got Tim in the audience, we got Stan in the audience, we know you're there.
I don't know if they're still there.
But we know you were there.
Still have three viewers.
Um,
I can give you another suggestion.
or a
I'm
question.
gonna give you a prompt.
Give us a question.
and give us something.
Give us a question.
Yeah.
Oh, question. Okay. John. What was your college experience like?
Wow, that's really broad. So I only graduated community college.
Yeah.
Started out as a math major. Took one programming course. They said math, right?
Yeah.
One time I told this story and everybody thought I said meth.
Math major.
Well, I said I
Bad.
said I started doing math, but they heard I started doing meth.
That made college really hard at that, or really easy.
People were they were like, it was at a work thing.
They're like,
But anyway,
"Wow."
so I was a math major, and then I switched to computer science, and it was because they made me take one Java course, and then next thing you know, I'm like solving my math homework with Java. I was building a physics engine in Java, trying to like make things bounce around the screen. But it was fun. We had a really tight group of friends. Like we took math, computer science, and physics classes together, and we hung out outside. We used to go to Dave and Buster's. My college experience was great. What about yours?
What college did you go to?
Nassau Community College. It's in New York, in Garden City, Long Island.
My college experience was, well, a bit fractured. Okay, so I went to a place where it was a very cliquey. You know, a lot of people had their own social groups, and I happened to just like to chill and play board games on weekends with a tiny group of friends, which was fun.
Yeah.
But looking back on it, I kind of wish I chased girls more.
You are all about that.
Yeah.
Chase girls or just interact with girls?
Both.
You want to be chasing?
I want to be chased.
Chasing ain't that fun, man.
I want to be chased.
You want to be chased? Ooh, okay. So you wish you were running away from girls.
Now I wish girls wanted me.
Yeah. You can just go on Tinder and never swipe, and then you'll just get tons of people swiping you.
Oh yeah,
There you go.
That's how you.
That's
That's
like-
how it works. Yeah.
So Torrance just said go on Tinder and never swipe. That you'll have tons of people swiping you. So, fun fact, Torrance, you've been with your girlfriend for how long?
We're engaged 5 years.
You're now fiance 5 years,
A little over 5 years.
and you're 23. So Torrance has never used Tinder, clearly.
Never. I've never downloaded Tinder, so
Yeah.
that probably wasn't possible. But I just
No.
said, huh?
No, totally inaccurate. But it's cute in a way because it's like
Yeah.
You've never had to be on Tinder because you're happily engaged
Yeah. Yeah. I don't.
with
I
your
don't-
high school sweetheart, right?
Yeah. Senior year. Well, we've known each other since 6th grade, actually.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm happy for you.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, everybody's got somebody out there for them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Just gotta find them. Just gotta swipe them, dude.
I find it funny how you're talking about swiping and you've never swiped.
No, I mean, tons of people talk about Tinder.
Yeah.
And I have friends that talk about Tinder, and my brother even would talk about it. So I know, like, I have a vague idea of how it works. And I think actually, like, right, both people have to swipe for
You
the
have to
match to
match.
actually happen.
Right.
No, but I'm saying, like, if you never swipe, then you know people are swiping you, but you're not swiping back. So I guess in a sense, like, you're being pursued, but you're not pursuing them back.
It's not the same though, you know.
You want to see them. You want to see
I wanna
them
see
coming
it.
after you.
Yeah, exactly.
I get it. You just want to be chased.
They never chatted, huh? Any questions?
Oh no, wait,
That's cool.
no questions.
So what time do we have here? Well, we're about to wrap up anyway. So what do you want to do for our last 5-10 minutes?
Let's see.
You still want to do a one-word question,
I
one-word stories?
Those are fun.
I want to start with prompts.
Like, you know,
like
prompt.
like
We're not doing
I'll
a scene.
start like the first 5 words and then you go.
You want to, and then we're going to continue with a one-word story.
I guess so. Yeah. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. He grabbed me at the bar and then.
It's more than 5
So,
minutes.
so generally, it's
Yeah.
very hard to do a first-person story, one-word story.
Okay.
So, like me, we could do
Yeah.
it. I'm just like, yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
He
so
grabbed me at the bar and
That's-
then.
that's a first person. Because you said me.
Yeah. You said it's hard. That's a challenge. Go.
Oh, okay. He grabbed me at the bar and then
He
hit
the
bottle
onto
my. She's supposed to support each other.
I know. Onto
See,
my-
first person makes it weird.
Thigh. Yes. Keep going.
There's no story.
No, there is. He hit the ball on your thigh. What do you do?
The
Bartender.
didn't
Even
notice
and
that
really
pissed
him
off.
Alright.
No, that's good.
he
Later,
roofied
my
drink
and
gave
people
the
finger
I
woke
up
in
a
strangers
head
Oh, this guy.
covered
in
syrup,
and
honey,
I
like.
honey
And
zero.
so
I
don't
really
mind.
then
A
dog
walked
into
the
room
that
I
was
in
and
licked
Yes.
himself
Oh, yeah. Hold
On.
on. Okay.
the
paw.
That was great. That was great.
scene.
Oh, jeez. That guy really fucking beat up the bar. I'll tell you what.
Oh man.
So
This
Tim-
is going to be my most bizarre interview, by the way.
Tim-
Which I kind of expected interviewing you, Peter. I'm just going to be honest.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't know if Peter knows this, but he's like the funniest guy in improv.
Really? Oh, I appreciate that.
I don't know if it's intentional or not, but it's hilarious.
Sometimes.
So,
hey, Tim has a request. He says rap battle.
Rap battle.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I don't know the
Yo, diggity dog.
Good. But basically, it's like poetry, but really a lot more.
You
games.
just gotta beat.
You just gotta hold your dick like this.
Well, I just got demonetized.
Shake it a lot and then be like.
Well, we can do beastie rap.
We could do that.
I don't know what that is.
So give us a one-syllable name that's easy to rhyme,
Okay.
and we're just gonna keep going back. You know how to play beastie rap. I'll explain the rules.
Okay.
I can't believe we're doing improv.
Well, you started it.
Give me a one-syllable word name that's easy to rhyme.
Bob.
So what we do is we go back and forth, and the first person goes, I'm thinking of a name. I'm thinking of a word and it rhymes with Bob. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, okay.
And then he'll to the same rhythm. You don't have to dance. You can.
I want to dance.
And then he'll to the same rhythm. We'll say something like, it has to go to the same rhythm and end with something that rhymes with Bob. So it'll be like, I dropped my food all over me because I'm a slob. Bop, 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 bop. And we'll just keep going back and forth. The rules are we can't repeat a name, and if we stall
What's that
too
beeping
long,
noise?
it's over. It's the fire alarm.
Oh, okay.
I need to put a battery in it. So I already ruined Bob. So give me one more name. That was
Jeff.
Jeff. Ooh, that's not easy to rhyme.
Sorry, Craig.
We can do Jeff.
Let's just try it.
Yeah.
So I'll start.
Alright, let's go.
I don't know a single freaking word that rhymes with Jeff. Well, it has to be a hard rhyme usually.
Okay, you can do Craig.
Is that what somebody in the chat said?
Oh, check. No, there's someone right battle.
Thinking of a word and it rhymes with Jeff. Da, 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 da.
He liked to make music with clap.
Da, 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 da. I give up.
I win.
I don't. You win the first round. So give me another name.
Craig.
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 You're giving like hard names.
No, dude, I have one right now. Craig. I know a word that rhymes with Craig.
Well, you know one, but we got to go back and forth for it. I'm thinking of a name, a word, and it rhymes with Craig.
He-
Da, 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 da,
He was an amputee without a leg.
da, 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 da. When he was poor, he would really beg. Da, 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 da.
All that beer he liked to chug.
That's not a word.
False.
I thought you were gonna go with keg.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
We're 1-1. Let's do the tiebreaker. Final round. This is
Oh,
how
I'm
we're
gonna go.
going
I'm
out.
gonna go.
What?
Can I go? Oh,
No,
I was gonna
this
say.
is
I was
us.
gonna add
This
more.
is
I
our
was
thing.
gonna add more to the Craig round. Okay.
No, just
Okay.
give us
okay.
a name and word.
Hugh.
Q. You awful names.
Dude, there's a.
So you lost. So you started here. Think of a name.
I'm thinking of a name, and his name is Hugh.
No, I'm thinking of a word.
I think I'm a word that rhymes with Hugh.
Da, 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 da. At this point, I'm really not liking you.
Oh. Spicy.
He had a nice girl, and he was her view.
You keep inventing words. I was gonna. I picked.
When I
Hugh.
go to the pool table, I shoot the cue.
His favorite color was definitely blue.
From my back patio, I enjoy the view.
In the backyard, he had to go to the loo.
I have a cow and it says moo.
Oh.
I have a cat, and he says mew mew.
No, I was gonna say. I want to finish it. It went to the loo. Oh, turns out he actually had to poo.
Oh, there you go.
Beautiful.
All right. We've officially hit the end of the interview. Oh, that rhymes.
Interview.
Oh, dude, Tim had a name.
What was it?
Chuck.
Oh, because he wants us to say fuck. All right.
Yeah,
You don't have to say fuck. You have all the other words there.
All right.
I will say fuck.
His favorite person.
All right. So we also, I was going to say we hit the end of the interview, but we also just hit like ultimate cringe. I think this is like the cringe part. So we can just go downhill from here. Yeah. I'm thinking of a word and it rhymes with Chuck. Let's both do the.
Okay.
So I don't sound like a crazy person.
Yeah. Da 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 da. Into his pants, his shirt, he liked to tuck.
Da, 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 da. This one would be da, 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 da. When I play hockey, I hit a puck. Da,
Da 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 da. In the casinos in Vegas, he always had good luck.
da, 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 da. I have a great vacuum. It really sucks. Da, da, da,
Da 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 da. He wasn't old, he was a young buck.
da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
Oh, you lose. Oh. I had another one. You ready for it? Da 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 da. He had a chicken and went cluck cluck.
There you go. Cheers. You win
That
that.
chicken was one hell of a schmuck.
Yeah, da, da,
All right,
da,
well,
da, da, da.
You know, I mean, thanks for coming on to the show.
Yeah,
I don't know what the show was.
it was very
I
good.
Definitely learned a lot from it.
I'm glad.
About you and just about kind of doing this stuff. What is one thing you would like to leave with people watching? One piece of advice, one piece of wisdom, anything.
Never stop improving yourself.
Never stop improving yourself. All right, you heard it from Peter Shi. Never stop improving yourself. And that marks the end of the interview. Thank you.
Thank you.
Torrance, thank you
You're
for being
welcome.
the moderator and just being here.
Well, I was the star of the show, obviously.
He was the star of the show.
I was.
And we're going to end
Cheers.
this live chat. Cheers.
Cheers. I don't have a drink.